Speaking about your autobiography, what pushed you to write it? I mean, why now? Why is it necessary?
Well, I think I have something to say. I came from the most humble beginnings, but from honest people who had a work ethic. Mm-hmm. We work from sun up to sundown. That's what farming is about. And we came to the city. And then as a boy, I grew up, I got involved in everything. I'm the living personification of a man now, at my age, who came to New York, got involved heavily into drugs, left that, got heavily involved in the alcoholism, left that, got heavily involved in cocaine, which was the last thing. And here I am now. I have 6 doctorates. I'm a MacArthur Fellow. I'm respected, and as you so nicely put it, I'm a living legend, and I'll be 70 years old. And so I personify that you can make it to anybody out there. You don't have to be a slave to anything. You can make it, especially to our young people. That's why I'm doing my autobiography. And I'm telling it just like it is, so that they can say, you can get knocked down, get up, brush yourself off, and get knocked down again, and get up and brush yourself off, and get knocked down again, and then you can still come up smelling roses.
Max Roach doesn't leave people behind, do you? I mean, you're writing this book for people to come after you. You talk about things and you deal with things because you know somebody's coming after you.
Right.
And that's from your work ethic that you learn?
Yeah, it's for my family, my children as well. You know, I don't want them to think that, you know, you might get caught out there in some nonsense, but you can make it because your dad did. Mm-hmm. And I'm not the only one when I say dad. I know a lot of other people who have done that. And we look up and we say to them, wow, boy, he's something. But they've been through some things getting there.
I'm going to mention two places that you, New York, Carolina, and the Carolinas, and New York City.
Well, the place that I was born in is called Dismal Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
It's an area. Dismal Swamp is the largest below sea level area in North America, and it houses the Norfolk Navy Yard, which is the United States' I guess, largest naval installation. And it's all below sea level. Dismal Swamp is the old Indian name for it. But it's the swamps. And so, like in the cities, Norfolk, Virginia, and all that northeastern area of North Carolina and the southeastern area of Virginia and points west occupies this place. Whenever it rains, the water stays on the ground. All the houses are built up on blocks. Because as kids, when it got dry, we'd all, you know, play under the house like that. And the cemetery, when if we had a heavy rain down there, all the bodies would come up to it.
Scary.
And the same thing happens in New Orleans, too, the same kind of thing. The cemeteries are above ground, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're a drummer, Mr. Roach. I guess one of the things that makes you so impressive is what makes you think, or what gave you the thought that drumming's more than just keeping a beat?
Well, you know, the drum set itself is another innovation that came out of America, because if you look at it and look at other societies that I know of, and I've traveled a little bit, but I have never seen percussion instruments where one person is responsible for the whole kit itself. You know, you go to Africa, they have drum choirs, and there's someone who's playing the bass drums, the lower instruments, all the way up to the top instruments. So it's a percussion choir. Mm-hmm. Europeans the same way. There's 4 or 5 people when you go see a European orchestra. You go to see the Kodo drummers of Japan, it's the same thing. But here we are, we've had to develop a technique where we use all four limbs. Now that's the only percussion instrument that I know where one person plays all four things. I know when Tito and Art Blakey and all of us used to do these drum battles with the Cubans and us who came, Cubans and the Puerto Ricans in New York. And Tito would stand aside. He'd say, man, I'm not going to get out there with that man. He's talking about Art Blakey because he's got both feet and both hands going. And we'd push him out on the stage anyway because he can handle himself with them timbales, you know. He can do what he wants to do with it. He said, this is ridiculous. You guys got a whole percussion ensemble out there with that instrument. You know, we have. We have one-person percussion ensemble. We got bass drums, low drums, all kinds of things around us. And we got things that we do, cymbals that we use with both feet and both hands. So I look at that instrument, and you can do anything with it. You can command and arrest the attention of an audience all by yourself on the stage doing solo things. That's why I do solo concerts and solo records and things like that and travel around the world, because you can deal with it. Of course, you got all kinds of different sounds out that instrument that you can coax from it when you think about it.
Is there anything that you can't do? Anything you won't do?
Well, that's a heavy question. You know, if I never was a musician or got involved in music, as a person of color in these United States, who came here in chains, whose ancestors came here, and I'm here now in 1993, I don't worry about talent. You know, Art Blakey and Elvin Jones and Chick Webb and Kenny Clark, that's it. If I don't play drums, I know we can deal with drums. Bernard Pretty Purdy and all these folks. I don't have to think about that. I don't have to think about being a great fighter because I got Joe Louis and Jack Johnson and my man who's in jail now, you know, Tyson, you know. So I don't have to think about all that stuff. There is something that I would really like to have. I want to have us to have Sears Towers and Empire State Buildings and banks. That's where the vacuum is for us. And that's power. I'm talking about power, that we can say, hey, you know, we can do what we want to do. We can own and have a part of this society and give like we can give, you know. If we can come up with the kind of things that we deal with in our creative and artistic efforts, I'm sure scientifically we would have some answers that would alleviate some of the world's ills like AIDS and cancer. We just haven't, we're not allowed, the doors are shut because you need money to become scientists. You gotta go to Harvard and all that, I imagine. But, you know, it's gonna come, it's coming. The world is changing so fast we can't even realize it ourselves. You know, we don't see it.